right, Eric, it is officially 11 Eastern time on the dot, and we now have over about 80 people here. We expect upwards of 150 throughout the entire show. Eric is spotlighted and is leading us off. So without further ado, Eric, the show FDSOA virtual conference has officially started, and we would love if you let us off. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate that. So, what an exciting opportunity for us to come to you and share some really, really great information. So I want to welcome you to the 2021 FDSOA Virtual Apparatus Conference. I think all of us would much rather have it in person, but with what we're facing today, I think we're all getting used to a little bit of virtual reality. So I am Eric Valliere. I'm the chairman of the board for the FDSOA. I've been part of the association for about 8 years now. Wonderful organization, and it's given me the opportunity to meet some fantastic people. My current role is an assistant fire chief in Scottsdale, Arizona. I have operations, EMS, and safety. So I have the fun part of the job and enjoy it very much. I've got about 30 years in the service. I started my career in Mesa, Arizona. Wonderful organization. I came over to Scottsdale when they went municipal, and been enjoying life ever since. And I honestly can't see myself doing anything different. Just like I'm hoping everybody out there in virtual world feels the same about what they do. So without further ado, once again, I want to welcome you to the first ever FDSOA Virtual Fire Apparatus Conference. It was a huge undertaking, and Kevin, that's leading us today, has done nothing but a fantastic job with getting this thing organized, and the partnership with not only FDSOA but FAMA and Darley has just been something that's been exciting and just a wonderful opportunity for us to get some really great organizations together, some great people together to put an action-packed program together for you. I want to especially thank our sponsors, as you can see them on the screen, and we'll talk about them quite a bit throughout the conference. And I'd like to welcome and thank all the attendees that are coming into the virtual world here to listen to such a great delivery of wonderful information. So yeah, please reach out and kind of engage with our sponsors. They are just wonderful people and wonderful organizations that are supporting this event, and so we want to thank them especially for that. So once again, we're in a virtual world because we're in a weird situation that I know all of us are hoping we're going to get back to a sense of reality soon. But we are here today in a virtual world. It should not stop us from networking. I think everybody knows and loves the conference scene, and part of it is getting some wonderful information from some amazing speakers. The other part is making a connection with some of the vendors and the sponsors that are providing some opportunities to look at their great equipment and apparatus. And then the last part is really networking with the attendees at the conference to gain some not only personal connection, but some opportunity to make your organization better and best practices. So please promote that, engage with that. We'll be sharing the attendee list with everybody so that you can not only connect today, but connect later. There is a chat bar that can be used throughout the event. Please use that. If you have questions along the way, Kevin can jump in and take care of that. And if there's some information we can get to you, we'd love to do that. We'd absolutely love to do that. So I'm just going to share a little bit of information on what the FDSOA is, because a lot of people go, it's a Fire Department Safety Officers Association. What's the connection with apparatus and equipment? And so I really want to talk about how the partnership with FAMA works and how the partnership with not only them, but other organizations work. But I really wanted to start by talking about really what our slogan is. I feel like we're the only safety association that looks to educate and bring safety to the streets. So we provide education, information, networking, and certification processes, not only on the safety side, but on the apparatus side. And we're going to talk a little bit about that here shortly. But really, this is what we believe in. And we've got an amazing strategic plan that'll be coming out that we'll be sharing with the membership soon. But this conference is about really the community of FDSOA and community of FAMA, and getting some really great information out to be helpful to people. So really our mission and vision is based on pillars. The membership is so important to us. Without you, we wouldn't exist, obviously. And I think that's how most associations are. But, we really feel strongly about the membership, not only on the safety side, but on the apparatus side. We truly invest time and effort on both of those main pieces that we do. The leadership in an organization that is really under the chairman, myself, Terry Stewart, which is out of Canada. He is the vice chair. And then we've got just amazing directors on the East Coast, West Coast. We have an international director out of Canada. Then we have an executive director, Rich Marinucci, that leads the organization. So the leadership is really just amazing. And we have engaging people that want to do amazing things for the association and the organization, and ultimately for the membership. Partnerships are critically important to us in what we do. And the partnership, I can't say it enough, with FAMA has been nothing but awesome. Darley is great partners with us, great family organization, just wonderful people. And I think that's truly what I enjoy the most, I think, about the service and about what I do in the association, is the networking and getting to know people, and that connection we all have for what we do. The education side of it, which is part of what we're doing today, and some of the certifications that we'll talk about here shortly that we're trying to expand on. And then obviously the sustainability in every organization, private, public, it doesn't matter. You need to have a sustainable future and a sustainable plan to move you forward. And the only way to do that is to be relevant in what you provide. And you're going to see some amazing vendors here throughout the next couple days, and some amazing speakers that have that drive and sustainable nature and perspective in what they do. So why FDSOA and the Apparatus Conference, and how does it connect? And so really what I want to talk about is what the true mission of safety is. And I feel like everybody that is not only teaching, but the sponsors and the membership that are attending really have that mission for safety. And I put in there, what does that mean? Because it means something different to everybody. There's a lot of opportunities for successes, but we're going to focus on, obviously, on the apparatus side, and really share with you my feel and my vision and the organization's vision on really what the connection is with the apparatus side of the association, and ultimately the apparatus conference, where we can connect with the membership. So I think all of us know that, there's thousands of apparatus accidents every year, and some of those are driver issues, and some of those are the public's issues. There's some shared responsibilities on both sides. About 25% historically of line of duty deaths are from really traveling to and from those calls. And so, the apparatus is such an important part of, and equipment is such an important part of what the first responders and emergency care providers deal with, right? And that's why there's that connection. And I promoted through the ranks. I was a firefighter, engineer, a captain, a battalion chief, deputy chief, and now assistant chief. And I've never lost that connection with my engineering time. And I had a connection with not only the ensuring of making sure my crew got to wherever we went that shift safely, right? But the functioning of that apparatus. And so there's a connection for me, a really passionate connection for me, to make sure that there's every opportunity to create a sense of safety and look at opportunities to make to make it better for both sides. And there's a true connection with not only the driver operator, but to the EVTs and the fleet organization. So, we need to get our first responders to the call and back safely, right? And the apparatus equipment needs to be mechanically sound to perform in the mission for helping their communities. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, right? We're all here to work as a team, not only the fleet and the EVT side of it, to make sure the apparatus works right, but on the fire department side of it, we are truly a team to ensure that service can be delivered out to the communities and out to the patients and out to our loved ones, right, and our family. And that's really the important piece of what we do. So, how does that connection work? Well, the safe apparatus and equipment is really top of the list, right? And there's some organizations that are blessed to have plenty of dollars to buy the latest, greatest equipment, and there's some that struggle and can't afford to be in the NFPA compliant realm all the time because their apparatus and equipment are not current and out of date, right? So we want to make sure that we have every opportunity that we can share information with organizations and the people that are working on those apparatus on what that looks like for NFPA and safety regulations, because ultimately, if they get in a crash, we want them to be as protected as possible, right? Seatbelt and crash protection. We want to promote the need for rock solid NFPA compliant maintenance programs out of fleet. That is critically important. If your organization is not doing that, you really need to get on track with what that looks like. And I know there's certain things a mechanic can do to the fire truck without being an EVT, but there's a whole lot of important things that they need to do that piece of equipment and need to be an EVT to do that. So that's important moving forward. So, how do we do that? NFPA committee connections, congressional connections through looking at grant funding and changes some of the legislature, and then the EVT commission representation. And we do that as an organization. FAMA helps in that in so many ways to make those NFPA standards relevant and realistic. The EVT training and certification, the association, which is awesome. We've been delivering F1 through F6 technical training for the last few years now, and even M1, M2 management training, and which is important for those EVTs out there and management staff of those fleets to have that education. And no one else is providing that on a consistent basis. And we have some amazing instructors that deliver that. So, I don't want to really beat up too much, but there's a lot of opportunity to look at what we do at FDSOA.org and dive into that a little bit. And you can schedule classes. We come out to you to provide that. Ultimately, we want to support the driver operator training program, right? We have a safe driving and roadway safety program that we're doing. I think that part of the engineer or the driver operator role in the transport and mechanics ultimately of that vehicle is important, right? And then we deliver incident safety and health and safety programs that have a really direct connection with what that looks like, because, I'll debate anybody all day long that the incident safety officer and the health and safety officer do have a connection with equipment and apparatus, right? And it shouldn't just be for those catastrophic events. It should be making sure that maintenance records are on track and what we're doing is compliant with standards and all the wonderful things that we're going to have a little bit of knowledge about in the next couple of days, but really dig deep and dive into what that looks like in your organization. And if you're an EVT here, push your fire department to get better. And if you're a fire department member here, push your EVT and fleet to get better, right? That's what we want to do. We're truly a team. So the other part, that really drives that true mission of safety is relationship and connections, right? That they create success. And I'm a big team player. I've been a team player my whole life, and that's what I like about the fire service and the mission of what we do, and especially at this apparatus conference, tying people that normally don't hang out together, right? On the mechanic side and the fire department side is so important to get to know each other. And at the end of the day, we're all in this thing together, and we all have the same mission together. And so, really to do that, we have to really foster that direct relationship between the driver operator and the EVT and the mechanic. And that's, I put old school relationship and that's the part. I'm getting some years under my belt, and been in the service for a while now, and I'm pushing the 50s, and I'm looking around, and I know there's others that can relate to what I'm talking about. And I always look at that part of old school. Why do they say it's old school? It shouldn't be old school if it still works, right? If it still works, it shouldn't be categorized as old school. So, we should stay current in those relationships. When I had something, an issue go wrong with my engine, I would call the mechanic out, and I know Jason's listening right now. I saw him; he's working with Mesa Fleet, awesome dude. But I would go out there and work with the mechanic, right, and understand and try to learn my piece of apparatus, right. So that connection with making sure that the person that's operating that piece of machinery and the person working on it are working together to make sure that apparatus and equipment functions appropriately and it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, right? And there's an education piece on both sides with how the firefighter kind of beats the truck up in delivering the mission we do as carefully as possible, but right, that respect that, hey, I didn't mean to beat it up, but here it is, and let's try to fix this thing and figure this thing out together, and really knowing what those critical failure points are with your equipment, right? That main out of service criteria, that's important for both sides, right? Let's not run that motor low on fuel or low on oil and be checking that, maintaining it, right? There's a certain level of maintenance that goes on at the station, but there's fostering the fire department leadership tied to fleet, right? I just talked about, if you're a firefighter out there, push your fleet. If there's fleet, push your fire department to get better. There's skills, knowledge, and ability that we need to create and work together to create that partnership and that sense of ownership on both sides of it, right? Because I'll tell you, firefighters think it's their truck, right? And fleet thinks it's their truck, which is awesome, right? But it's a shared sense of ownership to make sure that we're doing the right thing. And then really connecting the best vendors with the fire departments in need of the apparatus and equipment. And I feel strongly about what we do, and the sponsors and the vendors we work with have quality equipment, and we wouldn't be bringing anything but quality out to the membership to start evaluating what that looks like. And I put in here a concept called layers of safety. And I call it that because everything we do, from the insurance that we're on a solid NFPA maintenance plan to speccing those trucks the way they should be specced, right, in partnership with fleet to make sure it's the equipment that we need and it'll be useful in our community, right? Every piece of that creates a layer of safety, right? So if we're doing all the right things, we have a blanket upon us that will protect us, hopefully, so bad things won't happen. And so that's really the motivation for this thing, right? And then you dive into really what the FDSOA wants and really what I want. And I put relationships because relationships are critically important to success, right? And I got to tell you, I taking over the leadership of the association and the leadership we have today, we truly want that personal relationship with not only the member, but the sponsor and the vendor. That's the only way we're going to be successful in what our mission is, right? That mission of safety for everybody. And the privates have a role to make money and earn income and do the things they need to do because that's their job. And we have a role to look and inspect the right equipment for the right opportunity. And everybody, I think at the end of the day, it ties to delivering the mission to the community. So the best part of it is really the common goal that we all have, that we share, right? I would ask you to stay motivated, stay strong. If you need help, you need critical information to make your job better, let's do that. And then I'm just going to tie in because I'm staying on track, because I'm not going to take any part of TJ's time away because I know he needs it, man. We have 4 hours of action-packed information for you. That's going to be awesome. There's 2 breaks throughout this thing. I know there's not a lot, but you're sitting in front of your desk or office or in a conference room. I know you can get up and down to do the things you need to do, but those breaks are going to really be some sponsored videos that are going to be important for you to see. So take the opportunity to look at that. So today I'm going to talk about today. We'll talk about tomorrow, but we got TJ talking about tires and wheels, a 20 plus year guy in the service in the industry. And we had him out before and he's done such an amazing job. We got to get him back. And I think TJ, you're going to stay connected with us for a long, long time, hopefully, if you're willing to. We got suspension technology. What can you do? What can go wrong with procurement? And if you've been a part of procurement, you would know that, right? That there's some pitfalls, aerial design cases, and then I'm going to connect with you at the end of this to make sure that we're on track. So, from the planning committee, from the FDSOA, FAMA, Darley family, the virtual conference, we want to hope that and hope that all the work and effort that was put into this is realized over the next few days. So stay connected, connect with the vendors, and do what you need to do to be successful here. So I want to turn it over to TJ. I think I got you right on time. I think I saved you a minute, TJ. Take it away, my friend.